Hello everyone, Ceri the Craft here, that's C-E-R-I the Crafter, and I'm here with just a short little video today. Well, it's intended to be short. Now, I've recently released these two stencils, Industrial Graffiti Style 1, Industrial Graffiti Style 2, and I wanted to show you how I intended Style 1 to be used. So Style 2 is this one. It comes in 3 different sizes. Let's see if I can take the big one out the back. And it's a mass of words all based around industry and working with industry. Basically, that's where industrial graffiti came from. Now I'm going to be using this in a future video where I'm going to create maybe graffiti on a brick wall or maybe metallic background with it on. But it's not for today, but I want you to know there is a style too. What I want to focus on is Style 1. Now, Style 1 I created specifically for the journaling community in mind. You can use it any way which you like. However, I planned it for the community of journalists. Now, it comes in 3 different sizes, 5x7, oh, someone on the front, 5x10, 8x10, 5x7, which is the small version, which is this one. Not very good over a surface like that. And then the 9x12, which is the big version, which is this. Now, the 9x12, and yeah, the 9x12 is the one that I planned for a journal page. Now, I say journal page, for me, that's A4, which I believe is something like 8¼ by 11 and something inches. And I've also made this large enough so that it can be used on American letter pages as well. You will have a little bit of a gap around the edge, but it'll be in keeping with whatever you're going to do. So I'm going to work with this one. No, there are three sizes of this. I don't have the middle size because, to be honest with you, I said to PM Artist Studio, I don't need the middle size, just send me the paperwork to go with it because it's the one I'm going to use more often. So I'm going to put that to one side. Now, I'm going to show you how I'm going to use this on journal pages for signatures. I'm also going to show you how I make like little labels out of this as well. So we're going to do a few. I've got some coffee dyed paper here. Just grab some out of my stash. We're going to be using Distress Ink Vintage Photo by Tim Holtz. Now, I personally wouldn't use a foam blender on these. There are some areas in here, if you're blending, you might catch. I mean, I've done my best to make sure any really sharp pointy bits are not exposed, but you don't want this to go under it and try and lift it or anything. So I'm going to use one of these what the heck is this called? A makeup brush applicator. You've seen them on the internet. They're quite popular out there now. So I'm going to use one of these purely because it's softer and there's less likely for it to catch on anything. If, of course, you go in hammer and tongs and beat the hell out of any stencil, it's going to damage it. These are made from 100% 74-pound UPO. They are durable. They're as durable, if not more durable, than some of the really thin plastic ones you get out there. So just know that's what I'm planning to do. Right, do I need something under my mat? Maybe not, it's water-based. So first and foremost, let's get one that's relatively flat for a start. There, it's relatively flat. So just a regular piece of coffee dye paper. We're going to do the absolute basic. Now, if you see this, because I designed it to incorporate the American size papers, it's going to be bigger than the British ones. So either move it down so the word line at the bottom isn't covering the paper. You will still get words all the way down. You will have almost an equal space at top as bottom if you match that up just at the bottom. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. Now, I'm not intending to get absolutely block full cover of all of these words. I want this to be a background on a page that you could write on or use to do ephemera. Now, my thinking is this would sit really well if you were doing maybe a Victorian workhouse, that sort of feel to a journal. Also, it could go in with steampunk. It could be coal mining. anything like that. Basically, I don't really want to say it's a male stencil because that's rather sexist, but it is leaning itself more to that sort of genre. And I say that because I've used historical words for industry. So as you can see, I've got a really pale background in there. That's just enough to give me the detail for background. However, if you take the same stencil, let's go in and do this bit again. Let's line that up there so it's not over the edge. I would say come in and actually concentrate on the edges of your page and blend it. So I've done it almost in 3 columns where this would be the middle, side and side. I would focus on the edges of the page to get the words in here. Now, of course, you can put anything like texture paste through these. You could sponge paint through these, which is what you'll probably be seeing me do when I use the other style on my gel plate. I also think this would look really nice in a darker coloured ink as well, something like mahogany or walnut stain, something along those lines. I tend to steer away from black ink because if you're going to write on it, I'd rather it wasn't black that I was putting on in the first place. It may conflict with whatever the person uses to write with. So this is also a really quick way to give yourself a page that looks as if it's been coffee dyed in this manner. Now, if you're someone who does coffee dye using stencils, of course, Yupo is completely waterproof. So you could do your coffee dyeing techniques using this stencil without a problem. See, so therefore I've given us just a bit of something in the background. If you're doing the right journal, this would work perfectly for it. Another thing you could do with this, which, let's find another one. Let's use this one, which I sometimes do, which I find quite pleasant to look at, let's say, is I will line this up and I will do a circle from the center going out. And I do that because I know that I've got the spine being sewn down the middle. And by doing a circle, the height of the page doesn't have to be exact. If I wanted it exact, I could actually just get myself a piece of paper, cut a circle out the middle, lay one stencil over the other, and then work on the stencil in the middle. But I like the fact that by doing it this way, I get a little bit of interest on each of the pages. So I'm working from center out. This should give me a darker center blending outwards. So the spine of the page, there you go, would have that in it. So if I was to fold this now, so when this sat in the signature, you'd get that much detail on one page, that on another one. A really nice effect to do. So that's basically what I'd use it for. You can use it in any way, which way you want, guys. I mean, you could obviously come in and actually just go, right, I just want to come in and use, let's use one of the, am I in shot? I am in shot. Let's use one of the words. Let's use machine. So I could come in with the word machine and just put the one word there. And then as long as I stayed within verticals and horizontals, for me personally, because I like the verticals and the horizontals, I could repeat this word on different areas of the page and it would give me a different look entirely. So say you were doing a steampunk one, you could use the word machine, which I'm using here, and then I've got the word steam there for you. Come in and put the word steam in here. And then by the time you built up the different layers of wording with your ephemera, with your pockets, with everything, you've got a really interesting page that basically is just something that takes you away from a blank page. It doesn't add bulk to your journal because basically it's only the ink you're adding to it, but it does mean it can still be written on. So as you can see, just by doing that, I'm I'm just adding it. You could also come in and do a row of words around the edge to frame out the page. Lots of different uses. Now, another thing I like to do, let's put this one by, let's put it out my arm's reach. I'm going to bring in the 5x7 version for the next bit. So these are really useful words. Well, they are because I chose them to be useful. I need to get a smaller brush. Give me 1 second. Right, this does come in a smaller size. For what I want, this is what I'm going to do with this. Now, you've seen that I keep all of the scraps off the edges of the trimmings of pages and these, when you're cutting a page down, or if you're using book pages for collage and you tear the edges off, that's what these sort of things are from. So let's not use that, it's a bit too wide. Okay, that's very much a torn edge one. That's very much a torn edge one. And it really take a few to show the idea anyway. So because these words are really close together, because the intention is there for a background, you can come in and actually segment one of them off. So let's see, if I take a bit of washi, I'm going to take revolution out of there, across here. Now I'm using washi because it doesn't normally stick to stuff. I would say with Yupo, as soon as you finish working with it though, take it back off. I have found one or two washis will actually stick to Yupo quite well. I don't know why it happens with Yupo. It hasn't happened with most products. If anything, I'm cursing washi because it doesn't stay. Right, I'm going to put that on there and I'm going to line that up as best I can. Now obviously you could come in and just do a whole sheet. So if I come in now with a smaller brush, and lift that up, take it off, I've now made a label. So if I then trim this to be the right size, bang, I've got a label made. So let's see, there's another one on here I want. Let's see. Let's just do industry. Industry is what we're talking about anyway. So I'll just peel this bit off here so I can reuse it up there. I just need to mask off that bit there. Put that on there. Now, as I said, you could come in with a sponge and sponge ink onto it, or you could come in with acrylic paint and sponge acrylic paint through a stencil, and that will also give you the wording. So there you go. So that's another label made. So if I was just to take those, where's my pair of scissors gone? The biggest scissors in the world. Let's use that one. Right, so if I come in, if I just cut that straight, that needs a little bit of a trim off there. We'll do the other one because it's the same technique twice. If I come in now with just a bit of a foam stamp, foam mixing blending tool, whatever this thing's called. You can tell this is a brand new ink pad, can't you? It's really, really juicy. So there you go. That just gives me a label that I can use on ephemera or actually in a journal in any way, even if I was to leave it like this. So, okay, let's just tear that off because it's a bit unbalanced. Tear this off because that's not balanced either. Come in, just run my foam blender down here. There you go, there's another label. So these could be added to journals, they could be added to ephemera. So there you go, guys. I just wanted to introduce you to graffiti, industrial graffiti, because I love it and it's going to be used a lot by me. So that's what it looks like. Let's take this off because I've just told you to take it off. So I should take it off myself. Come on, off you come. There you go. As I said, as with all stencils, treat them with respect, because if you abuse them, you lose them. So, right. So there you go. That's the stencil. That's the 5x7. This is the 9x12. So those are the two. This is the one that I intended to use for journal pages. As you can see, I've done random words. I've done the centerpiece so it's in the fold. I've done the edges, and I've done the really into the background thing. There are so many things you can do. And actually, this also gives me labels as well. Now, if you really like these guys as much as I do, let me know, because I could potentially create them on different themes. I've looked at doing industry here and everything with it, but I could do one, say, about flowers. I could do one about butterflies. I could do one about bugs. With this format, I can actually pull in other ideas. So it's fun to play with that, but I'm not going to create any more unless I find there's a need for them. I think that's it. So watch out for Industrial Graffiti Style 2, which will be coming in 2024. I just need time to actually get my head down, do some filming, put it all together, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I have. So I'm Ceri the Crafter, and that's Ceri, and I will see you next time. Goodbye now.